Hi everyone, my name is Jill Kane. Thanks so much for joining me here. My little quick project here, my demo, is about using watercolor on watercolor paper to make some shapes that you then cut out of the paper. And the way I was taught about this is to leave a little bit of the border showing through from whatever paper you use to paint these circles. This idea was introduced to me through my participation in the Minnesota Visual Journal Collective. We're a group of people who love collage, love painting, love working with those mediums in journals. We meet once a month at a local independent art supply store in St. Paul. And last year in February 2022, our volunteer leaders led us through this process of making these shapes. They found this idea through Christine Nazaro. Many of you may know her. She is at soul_positive on Instagram. She's really great examples of this technique, making a wide variety of shapes. She's got some really lovely hearts using this technique that she writes some really encouraging words on, and they're just really fun. So I had a lot of fun making some of these shapes, and I still have some left over from projects I worked on last year, but I just love thinking about them in different ways, you know, maybe cutting them in half and having one half one color, one half another color, making a new circle. I decided that I wanted to use them as a way to illustrate nasturtium leaves in my altered garden journal. So I literally made all of these leaves while sitting out on my patio on a really beautiful June day. And once they dried, I cut them out. And then I went ahead and used a Posca paint pen to mimic the veining of the nasturtium leaves. I would say you can kind of see some variation in how that worked with using the Posca pen. In the future, I would probably use acrylic paint for that instead. I just didn't love how this performed on top of the watercolors that I chose to use for this project. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the products I'm using to make these. First off, I'm using this pretty affordable watercolor paper from Target. I've had this for a long time. I'm not even sure if they sell anything like this anymore, but it has a really nice weight to it. And I think I like that the paper isn't pure white. It's a little ivory. It's a little easier in the eyes maybe. And then I'm just using these Staedtler watercolor paints. They are definitely a liquid formation of watercolor. I've also had these for a very, very long time, and I'll be honest with you, the first time I used them was making these last year. And they are a thicker, I kind of view them as possibly a thicker watercolor. To me, they behave a little bit more like gouache. I liked that. I know that others in our class used a wide variety of different watercolors, and our circles all turned out a bit differently, and it was really fun to see how that occurred. So when I went to go work on the nasturtiums, I did try some newer, more, I guess maybe traditional dry watercolors that are more expensive than these, that I purchased for myself last year, and I didn't love the effect. And it could have been a wide variety of things, maybe my own expectation about what I wanted them to look like. So I scrapped that idea and went back to using the deep green and the light green to make those leaves. So I have a page started here a bit of some pretty bright plum, rose, kind of orange coral colors happening here. This one, I painted that rose color in the center first, and then after it dried, I went back with more of a scarlet red and kind of built out a little bit beyond my initial circle, and I really like how that is looking. So this is so easy. I'm just using a number 6 pen, or I'm sorry, a number 6 paintbrush. And I know I'm breaking many rules here by probably contaminating my paints by touching the tip of my brush into the paint tube sometimes, but so be it, right? We can't break rules. Why are we doing art? So here's just some Prussian, some Prussian blue. Got it on pretty thick over on this side, you can probably tell. Thinner over here. The sky really is the limit with this. You know, you can do some paint mixing while it's wet, get a different color. You can wait to dry, have some more kind of layered color on top of it, what you've previously painted. I guess I really like the layers of some areas of opacity and some areas of transparency. And you know, in my mind, I'm painting these now thinking I will use these next year or this season in my garden journal. And I think with the opacity and transparency, it really kind of gives the idea of flower petals and what happens when light reflects off certain parts of a flower based on where the petals are. So this is a super fun kind of meditative way of painting. I think this is a portable project. Like I said, I worked on it outside, and of course it was in the sun, so this all dried pretty quickly. But really was a lot of fun, and I encourage you to give it a try. So thanks so much to Suzanne and all the work she's doing with Strawberry Moon. It's really a great community to be a part of, and I know that I look forward to each new edition of the magazine coming out, and I'm just really grateful that she's finding a way to connect all of us together through a publication. Thanks so much. Have a great day.